Did you come here to be a star?
I came to Los Angeles to be a star. I loved Bill Cosby, was my idol, and so was Jackie Gleason. I liked him. I wish they would show the honeymooners of the '60s in color. And then I also, I just wanted to be a star. I just had it. I wanted to be an actor. I did stand-up comedy at the Improvisation, at the Comedy Store. When I first came out here, I was good friends with Robin Williams, and him and I did stand-up comedy together. When he got a break on doing One Happy Days, then he had a spin-off called Mork and Mindy, and then I lost contact with him. Also, Shirley Hempfield was a good friend of mine, and we did stand-up comedy. She helped me get work on What's Happening. When I first came to California, I was going to the Christian Science Church in the black area. And someone says you need to go to the rich Christian Science Church either in Newport Beach or go to the one at 28th Church of Christ Scientists or 36th Church in the Valley. And so I went to 28th Church, and that's where I met Gene Stapleton, and she helped me get different work. And then I met Scatman Crothers, and he helped me get different jobs. They both were Christian Scientists. We need to find Vivian Vance's star.
Where's Jim Henson's star?
I don't know, but Vivian Vance I know is on the other side of the street. Vivian Vance was like a big mother to me, teaching me right from wrong. Did I tell you my story about Vivian Vance in the Christian Science Church? Vivian Vance was a Christian Scientist, and when I first came out here, she helped me out with money by doing gardening and yard work at her house. And she became very ill in '78, so she went to stay with her sister, and then she died in '78. But Vivian Vance was a member of the Christian Science Church, and so was Georgia Engel that played on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
When are you going to get your star on the Walk of Fame?
I'm hoping.
I think you should have your star on the
I
Walk of
feel I've been doing a public access show for 14 years. I played Della Reese's son on Chico and the Man, so I feel that I'm well deserved. Did I tell you that Vivian Vance took me to Lucille Ball's party and Steven Spielberg's? And what happened was...
Steven Spielberg, huh?
Well, I was kicked out. Lucille Ball was very unkind to me. She pulled the chair from under me and gave it to Gary Coleman when I went to Lucille Ball's party. I love Julie Andrews when she used to be able to sing. It was a role model for me to be a singer. And he is, Wayne Newton was another famous friend of mine that I liked a lot and admired a lot.
He was a friend of yours, huh?
Yeah. And John Travolta, I knew, I used to be an extra on Welcome Back, Carter. And I knew John Travolta when I used to do extra work on a show called Welcome Back, Carter in the early '70s. And I would sit in the background as one of the students on Welcome Back, Carter. That was Coleman Productions.
Does Jim Henson have a star on the Walk of Fame?
Yes, he does. Robin Williams and I used to be roommates, and he's a Christian Scientist.
He doesn't return your calls anymore, right?
He doesn't return my phone calls anymore. But Robin Williams and I went to the same Christian Science church together, and we used to be roommates, and we worked at the Comedy Store together before he made it big. Now, I'm going to tell you about Robin Williams. Robin Williams and I were working at the Comedy Store together in the '70s, and Gary Marshall, who produces Happy Days, had picked out Robin Williams to be one guest as a Martian on before Mork and Mindy. He did one show on Happy Days. He got a spinoff called Mork and Mindy. And after he got a spinoff from Mork and Mindy, he moved out of the apartment we had together. And I haven't heard or seen from him since.
Do you have any proof that you guys live together?
I have past rent receipts that I have to look up in my storage place.
Does he owe you money?
My half of rent when he moved in with his girlfriend. We used to stay together in an apartment from the Christian Science Church on the same Hollywood Blvd. Robin Williams was a very kind, compassionate, funny, comical person, and I had the pleasure of working with him and staying with him for a small while. And then when that ended, I stayed at the St. Moritz Hotel across from the Channel 5, and I was there for 5 years and worked in exchange for my Rent, and then also pursued my acting career.
Danny Thomas on the Andy Griffith Show, but my parents misappropriated the money. Danny Thomas saw me. Okay. But I would like to...
Let's go up here where it's not as crowded.
Now, Carol Channing is a Christian Scientist.
Like you?
Yes, she is. Her dad was a Christian Science teacher and practitioner. And Carol Channing is part black. Her grandmother was part Afro-American. But because she is the white genes, the blonde hair took over so great, you'd never know it. Same thing as Danny Thomas saw me in a play at the Goodman Theater in Chicago, and he wanted me to be Opie's co-star on the Andy Griffith Show. The Andy Griffith Show was a spin-off from the Danny Thomas show, Make Room for Danny. My parents were given a big sum of money from Danny Thomas to cast me in the Andy Griffith Show. But they kept the money, didn't send me back to Los Angeles to be on the Andy Griffith Show. And I felt very bad about what my parents did. So I apologized to Danny Thomas before he died in Beverly Hills when he was signing autographs and signing his biography book. That I was very sorry that my parents misappropriated the money that Danny Thomas gave them. Now, she was one of my favorite singers and performers.
How big are your hands? About the same size? Or?
Oh no, my hands are bigger, but they do fit. I admire Doris Day because she had a beautiful singing voice, and she belonged to the same religion I did, Christian Science.
When are your handprints going to be in here?
I hope someday that my handprints can be in here very soon. Since I've been producing a public access show for 14 years. Jim Henson was my Sunday school teacher in the Christian Science Church. And I hope someday that I can get a break in the Walk of Fame.
Cool.
I've tried to get in touch with Ron Howard because we're both born adults. And he doesn't even return my phone calls. And I code red with him on the Andy Griffith Show when I was a young boy. I was supposed to be a co-star with him on the Andy Griffith Show. And he has his own production on, and he's a big famous producer. And he doesn't return my phone calls or letters.
Really?
Henry Winkler caught me when I was reading for Roots. Okay, ready for me to speak?
Yep.
Shari Lewis was a wonderful puppeteer. I loved her and Lamb Chop, and I wanted to have a better relationship with her. I knew her from the puppet deal, but she was very snobbish and unfriendly to me. And I really admired her a lot, and she was a role model for me as a puppeteer, just like Jim Henson, my Sunday school teacher, was in the Christian Science Church. But she just plain outright was very cold and unfriendly to me. I wrote to her, she never wrote me back. When I met her in person, she played like I was a wall and I didn't exist. And I still admired her. And one good thing that Shari Lewis's daughter does, she brings lamb chop every Christmas down to Fred Jordan's mission to sing Christmas carols and feed the homeless. And I really admire that she had that done to her will. Milton Berle, I knew from the Christian Science Church. He used to tell jokes when they used to bring him in with a wheelchair at the Beverly Hills Christian Science Church on Redford Drive. And they used to call him Uncle Milton. He also gave me tapes of his original TV show that used to be on NBC.